Hi everyone, this is Matt Rhodes and I'm joined by Matlock Town's Dave Wild. Dave, 0-0 draw tonight at home against Grantham Town in the league. Just first of all, your assessment of the team's performance tonight.
Our team,
Matlock's team, yeah.
not nowhere near good enough. If we're going to perform like that for the last 13, 14 games, we won't win the league. Next.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the final third, obviously there's a couple of games in a row that you've not scored now at home. Are you just losing a little bit of confidence in that final
No, I don't
third?
think. Sorry, Matt. I don't think it's a matter of losing confidence in the final third. Obviously, we've brought new players in. For us to go from sort of low to maximum and a low to max and really kick on in terms of that sort of area of the pitch. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to take a few weeks for us to sort of gel. Well, not a few weeks, but a couple of training sessions for us to gel up there. I think Reece Webb-Foster did well when he come on. He's bright and he's intelligent. Look, Ross has missed a lot of football as well. But look, we need to score more goals. Of course, we do what every team in the country wants and needs to score more. But I've just had a bit of a laugh down there with Craig, one of our supporters, telling me we need goals to win the league, but we've just drawn 0-0 and opened up a bigger gap at the top. So as mad as it sounds, obviously we need to score more goals. But look, the only thing we can do is take one game at a time. Fortunately for us, Morpeth have done us a favour tonight. Obviously Buxton have won; they're still very much in the race, as are other teams, but it's in our hands. That's the only positive I can take from sort of tonight and the Lancaster game. In hindsight now, looking back, if we'd have locked that off, it'd have been a good point at Lancaster as well. But that's where we're at. 13, 14 games to go. I'm not being funny if we'd have sat here in one of the pre-season interviews and we'd have discussed that being the case after today's Grantham game. I think everybody would have laughed, if we're completely honest. So I've gone round the houses there, but we will score goals.
Clean sheet picked up tonight.
Yep.
How impressed were you with the performance from Matlock defensively and also from Joe Young in net as well? A good game.
Listen, our defensive unit is quite frankly the reason why we're top of the league. It's not, and that's no disrespect to excuse me. It's no disrespect to the strikers or the midfield, but like Ryan Qualter, Reece Kendall, Sharmo, Evo, Sam Edgerton when he was here. We've just had a really consistent, rock solid sort of back 3 or 5 defensive structure with the keeper. So I can't praise them highly enough. It's like, even when you look at the Lancaster game when we did lose 1-0, they were still outstanding. There's not enough adjectives for me to praise the back 3, especially Ryan. And to be fair, Reece tonight I thought he was outstanding. I think that was probably one of his best and most mature centre-back displays.
And just looking ahead to the Whitby game away from home coming up this Saturday, really, well, obviously they're all important from now on, but obviously Whitby right up there in the mix for a top 5 spot. Just how tough a game is that going to be?
Well, look, the top and bottom is looking at it this way: is everybody's telling me all week, "Oh, don't worry, you'll beat Grantham." I knew for a fact that I would have liked to have won, but I knew for a fact it wouldn't have been a rollover. It wasn't. So every single game's tough. It doesn't matter if they're going for 5th first or they're trying to stay up like Grantham. Every game at this level of football is difficult. As we've been saying, excuse me, to the players, and I've said in interviews, and so's Paul, we're at the top now and they're to be shot at. For the last couple of years, it's been South Shields and everyone's wanted to go and take points off South Shields like we did when we went there in the COVID season. And that's as it stands. So we've got to get used to that. We've got to maybe adapt our game or our mentality to, again, I'm saying the same phrase, but go from low to max and make sure that we are taking games to teams that, it doesn't matter what they're doing, we're there to be shot at, and we need to make sure that it's been, getting over the line and winning games at the minute. And I couldn't care less if it was 1-0 or if it's a 0-0 that does it. We just have to make sure it's done because we've come so far as a group. We're not rolling over and getting our bellies tickled.
With these kind of games at home as well, like with the Lancaster one as well, do you think the opposition, they are raising their game against
100%.
you, obviously because they are going away at top of the table?
Yeah, 100%, and I'm sure everybody will say that themselves. Look, Grantham's fans have just celebrated that. I mean, to be fair, it's a great point for them in terms of their relegation battle, and have got no grudges on that. But their fans are down there celebrating like they beat us 4-0. But it's because we're top of the league. How many teams, again, I always talk about City because I'm a City fan. If Burnley come to the Etihad and it's 0-0, they'll celebrate like that. It's just how it is, and that's not me comparing Matlock to City, but it's just one of them things. And again, we as a club, as a group, as a staff, everyone, we've got to sort of re-energise and focus our club's mentality on the fact that we're not little Matlock. We're trying to push the club forward and get into the National League, so we've got to adapt as a group and a fan. I'm still hearing negative comments from sections, well, not sections, just the odd support, one or two, and it's just, for me, I just laugh. It's you can't go any higher than first, so I don't know what there is to be negative about.
And you've extended the lead.
Yeah, this is what I mean. It's like, listen, don't for a minute think that we're not frustrated, because we didn't create anything at Lancaster, and in all honesty, I don't really think they deserve to win. We did. And we've not created enough tonight to win the game, but it was actually Mark Lees on the pitch there when we were speaking, and he's bang on the money when he says that we've come away from 2 games and we've actually got a point further on in the table with 2 games closer to the end of the season. So we're going to take as many positives from a poor performance or a poor weekend as possible.
Okay, well, thanks for your time as always, Weldy, and best of luck for the Whitby game.
Yep, cheers guys, thanks.